Hey everybody, it's Charlene. Thanks for joining me on the Picket Studios YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making this fun Halloween card using the new Witch Crafts stamp. This stamp is super cute. It's great for coloring, it's great for watercoloring, you name it. And we are going to watercolor today. So I'm starting out with some anti-static powder here, and then I'm going to stamp with some of the black hybrid ink. And this is from Picket Studios. It is great for alcohol markers, but it's also great for watercoloring. It does not bleed at all, which is awesome. So I'm going to make sure to get the whole stamp covered really well. This is a very detailed stamp, and you're going to see that in the coloring. There are all kinds of fun little elements that you can color in, and it looks like the front of a witch's shop where you could go in and get cool Halloweeny type things. So I am adding some clear embossing powder on top of the ink. It does stay wet for a little while, so you can do this. And I find that when I am watercoloring, I'm not an expert watercolorer in any shape or form. So this is for those of you out there that are just wanting to play and learn how to do some easy watercoloring. But I find if you add some clear embossing powder over your ink and heat set that, then you're going to have an easier time with watercoloring. Essentially, the embossing powder creates kind of little wells where the water and ink will stay put, so it doesn't go outside the lines. It makes it much easier. I'm using a water brush to do this, and I have several different shades of ink, and I'm just using a dye ink. It makes it really easy to watercolor. You certainly could use actual watercolors, but like I said, this is easy watercoloring. So I'm starting out with some orange, and you can see most of the time what I do is I add some water to the image first, then I pick up some ink, and then I go where I want my darkest areas to be, where I want the shading to be. And then I can kind of spread that out using my water brush. The nice thing about a water brush is you don't have to worry about having any cups of water or things like that on your work surface to clean your brush. You can kind of just squeeze it a little bit and wipe it off on a paper towel. And you can see that's what I have over on the left there. Now, I do recommend that you use watercolor paper when you are doing a large image like this. Sometimes you can get away with watercoloring on regular cardstock if you're just doing a little bit of it. But if you're putting down a lot of water and a lot of color, regular paper will pill up. It will get the little fuzzy pieces on top, and it just doesn't quite dry as well. So you definitely want to use some kind of paper that is watercolor paper. There's all kinds of different ones on the market. The one that I like to use has a smooth side as well as a bumpy side, and I like to use the smooth side for my watercoloring. That's just my personal preference. And you can see I've gone in and I have painted all of the exposed brick in red. I think that looks really awesome on this stamp. And then I came in and did the floorboards in front of the shop in brown. And then I've done all of the door and paneling in purple and black. I think that's just kind of a fun color combination for this set. Now I can go in and color all of these cute little elements that are on there. There are cauldrons, there's an owl, there's a cat, there's all kinds of fun little vials of potions, and there's a skull in there, books, just so many fun little details on this stamp. It is a really cute stamp. Now you could also color this with colored pencils, or you could use alcohol ink markers, lots of different mediums that you could use to color in this stamp. A little bit about colors for Halloween choices. A great color combination for Halloween is orange, purple, and green. Those go together really well. So if you are stumped ever on a Halloween card, those are kind of the triad of colors for Halloween. So you'll see I have lots of green pops and purple pops and orange pops throughout the entirety of this image, but that's not the only colors I used. You can also add in other colors. I've got the reds and the browns and the blacks. I think I even have some blues in there. Lots of fun. So for the glass, I do use a very light washed out blue, and the way I do that is I make sure to get a lot of water in the ink there, just so that it's a very, very light hue of blue. And I also did the same on the wall. I think it's kind of like a cracked concrete or stucco wall. That's how I envision it. So I thinned out my ink quite a bit before I did a wash over it. Here I have the Spooky Town Sequin Mix Plus, and I am pulling out some of the fun orange and green sequins from that mix, and I'm putting them around on the card kind of randomly just to add a little bit of bling. The nice thing about a large stamp like this is it pretty much makes your whole card. I love that because then you're not having to think about layout or adding papers or what should I die cut, but you also could make this into a really fun full front shaker, or you could just use part of the stamped image on your card. These big stamps, they are super versatile. I love that you can use them in so many different ways. So once I get my sequins on there, I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of black foam. Now, Picket Fence does sell these in white and black rectangles. These are really nice for when you're doing a full card panel like this on a card. You can just peel it off, pop it on there, and it is ready to go. Now, I did decide that I wanted to mat this on a piece of black glitter cardstock because I just wanted to have that little bit of shimmer all the way around the edge. So I did trim it down so that black cardstock would show. That's completely not necessary. I could have just glued the entire panel down onto my card front without adding that, but I always like to have some kind of little frame around my card. Now I have the Here for All the Booze stamp set, and in this set there are all these fun little sentiments, and it also has those cute little ghosts. I didn't use those, but I definitely wanted to use a sentiment out of this set, and it says, "Ghastly friends are here to play on October's final day," which I think is just really fun and spooky. So that finishes up my card. I hope you will give this watercolor technique a try. Thanks again for joining me today. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell so you can see more videos in the future.